So this is your quick energy update. I was actually just working here thinking, do you know what? I think I need to share a gospel according to Marie very quickly, because bit of an impromptu share today, because there's a lot of energy going on, and I myself personally have been through one hell of a week. My goodness. Okay, so today is Thursday. I don't know what day you're watching this video, but today is Thursday. Okay, Thursday the 7th, one of my favorite numbers. But 2 days ago, okay, so on Tuesday there was a massive surge of energy. So the Schumann resonance spiked. It went off the charts. Now I have 3 Wi-Fi boxes in the house. One blew out. Instagram went down, and I spoke to people all over the world, and all sorts of technology issues and everything like that. Something profound happened. It was a really big surge of energy. Even my computer's not been working properly. It's all been all over the place. Now that tells you big stuff is happening. Now, when these Schumann resonance spikes happen, what actually is going on? Schumann resonance is when they measure the energy of the earth, and you will see it on a graph, and you will see all like these lines bouncing up and down, and you'll be able to see how high or low it is. In this case, super, super high. Now, when that happens, okay, it can be like, solar flares from the sun, big explosions from the sun, that sends a lot of light energy down towards us, and then we have to kind of like integrate that into our physical beings. All sorts of things happen to actually cause these energy surges within the earth, right? And of course we stand upon the earth, and of course we feel it. So what actually happens to you when this happens? Right. Physical. Like, I've been to the chiropractor today because it's been, shit got real. It's been really, really sore, my shoulders, because when that energy comes into your physical being, you have to integrate it. You have to integrate it through your spiritual bodies, your emotional bodies, your mental bodies, and obviously physical. So when it comes in, it can make you very, very, very sore in the physical body. So you'll always find when these surges come in the moment, you might feel really, really tired. And then about 1 to 2 days later, you might feel it more physically in the body, because of course it's moved through your light bodies and now it's landed in the physical. So it's all part of the integration of that massive power surge, right? So also as well, what it does when we go through these surges, okay, it actually brings up all your deepest and darkest, right? Your belief systems, your mental bodies, your emotional bodies will start like purging all of the remnant stuff. Do you know what I mean? So expect to go through a little bit of a shady dark spot with all the contrast coming up. It's quite intense. And then of course, emotionally, do you know what I mean? It's just the mental and emotion work the emotional work together. So it's just one big purge. Now, there's always like a 2-day effect after that. Like today I'm feeling really high, like, okay, now we can get to working. And then like there's clarity that comes beyond it. So this is why these power surges are really powerful. There's shit to go through because it's intense. And when all your stuff breaks, it's just like, it's intense. But I mean, think about it. It's energetically strategic, because that is like our teams, our star teams, and just the synchronicity of us all just coming into that flow of moving into the new earth. The new earth is something we birth, is a timeline within us. It's not something out there, it's from within you. So as we purge all of these layers, it's serving a massive purpose, because we're actually doing high intensity, short duration purging. So when these things come in, it's just like, whoa, okay, here we go. And it's very powerful, but then it doesn't last for too long. So it really does, it does serve us, so it kind of like fast tracks us a little bit. So now, as we get into the higher vibrations because of things like this, then of course we're like closer to just keep birthing and birthing and birthing into the new earth, because I keep talking about resurrection. Resurrection is imminent. It's coming. If we are really moving through the birthing process, then resurrection is right there. So it's really important that you take your rest. It's really important that you listen to these kind of like energy reports that gives you an indication, a map and compass as to what's going on and why. Don't push through it. I had to walk away from my computer the other day. I was trying to, in the depth of the really dark emotional shit that I was going through because of this energy purge, I was trying to push through it and create. And actually, the more I tried, the more I was just producing, and the stuff that I was sharing was actually shit. So I basically, and I mean, it's got to come from inspired action, which is why you'll hear from me like, I'm on, and then all of a sudden I'll disappear because I'm not inspired. Do you know what I mean? And I will only share when I'm inspired. The amount of videos I record, and then I just, I get rid of them. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, no, that's like not coming from the right place. So be discerning of what you're sharing, especially if you're a light worker, spiritual teacher, whatever. You don't have to be on all the time. Do you know what I mean? Instagram strategies and YouTube, whatever, social media will say, you've got to have presence and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, But then there's also the energy stuff where you've got to keep your work and yourself authentic. You've got to give yourself the love. And if you are basically purging out, I'm going to say purging out videos, not sharing videos, because of the want and the need to be present, and you've got to keep it going, it's coming from the wrong place. And then without realizing it, you've slipped from the highest vibration into that vibration. So, it doesn't serve you at all. And it definitely doesn't serve the people that are receiving your, well, they're not sparkles, are they? There's something else. So be really okay with just booking out. Do you know what I mean? Because that is basically being authentic and true and integral in your energy. Because if we all start doing that in every single shape and form, then we are going to get to our new earth, birth our new earth timeline a lot quicker, right? So it's all about being in alignment with the highest vibration in every single thing you do. And when you are not in that highest vibration, it's okay. Take some time out, switch your phone off. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything is fine. So what now? Go rest. And then when that wave comes in, you'll just get this surge of energy and you'll be like, right, I want to create now. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And then everything will be of the highest vibration. It will be smooth. It will be fast. It will be just easy and effortless. And you'll have a lot of fun doing it, right? So that was just a sidebar on when these energies hit, like, work with it, not against it, right? So now I want to speak about the inauthenticity, talking about that's coming up all around us, right? For all of us that are light workers, holding the space, and remember what you are, a light worker. Okay, that is a worker of the light. Being in the light and holding the light is not an easy job. And I've gone all around the houses saying to Spirit, for God's sake, you got to give me a break. For God's sake, you got to make this easier. And they're like, well, you know what? You chose to be a light worker, meaning, like, you have the capacity to hold that light. You have the capacity to shine it. And you know what? Sometimes it's not going to be that easy. Sometimes it is going to be hard, because we agreed to come into the darkness to be able to shine our light, to illuminate, right? That was the agreement. I mean, there is no service in just being light and finding light and being light. Is a complete imbalance. So this is what we've got to get right. And right now we're in this massive pocket of time or transition, let's say. It's a bit touch and go, but we're definitely on the foundation of the new earth timeline, meaning within us, we have definitely activated that aspect, that dimension of us. It's there. So now we're just kind of like going through the motions of just the transition of seeing what that looks like out there, which is chaos. Because when chaos is present, that means creation is at its fullest, because chaos is divine feminine. And that's where we create from the chaos, right? But like, if you want to get wrapped up and get lost in the chaos, as in the darkness, do you know what I mean? That then of course, like, you're going to be drowning a little bit. So that's why I go back to point one. When you're in that deep, dark purge, do you, boo? Go have a salt bath, switch your phone off, and do what you have to do to just support yourself. Love, 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 love. That's how you take yourself out of that horrible, dark experience of being stuck in the tumbleweed to do with the shadow. We are always going to be, because we're portals, we're always going to be releasing all of that through our beings, because we can. And there's times where we just need to actually really support ourselves and really come away from everything and really give ourselves the love vibes to be able to move through that, right? So now, as we're moving through this really intense transition, there is so much inauthenticity. There is so much skullduggery and shadiness going on. And what I'm experiencing is things I'm looking at is like, oh my God, that's not true. Oh my God, that person's not who I thought they were. Oh my God, look at what they did there. Or look at, you know what I mean? Look at whatever. Do you know what I mean? All of this non-truth is coming up around you. There is a lot of shadiness and behavior from other people, which is going on all around. I've had experiences myself, and I know that there's a lot of people out there that have had injustices. That's the best way to describe this. Injustices. I have a beautiful guy that lives in my house here with my son. He's there. My son's a cricketer. His friend is a cricketer. He was online the other day because, there was some kind of job dispute where they didn't pay him out the money, and it was blatantly they just didn't pay him out, and they were supposed to honor his contract, and he's now in court and doing all of this stuff, and the actual court case is so unfair to him that there's injustice. So there's all of this going in and around our governments and everything like that. But more on a personal level, people behaving very shady towards one another with their with what they're doing. Now don't get involved in that, okay? Really hold your light, really hold your space, even though it might be coming at you. Hold your space and hold your light, because their karma is going to be triple-fold with how they're behaving and what they're doing. it's nothing to do with you. And even if it is aimed at you, your job on all of that is to bring it through. Take your lessons of what you need to know about this, because there's always a mirror, because they're your mirror. Take your lessons and make sure that you arrive at a place which is like integrated that experience into the love and harmony and the gifts that it was meant for you. Because everything in your life is okay, but what now? But if we have, like, if somebody's behaved badly towards you and you're like, oh my God, that is so offsides, that is so out of line, and you feel that deep injustice and maybe even persecution, whatever it might be from the situation or the person, then the worst thing we can do is fight fire with fire, okay? Because when we start sending their energy back to them so they must receive it and everything like that, guess what? You also induce more karma for yourself as well. The main aim here, as Isis always says, is we have to forgive and love everything for us to be able to transmute the fear and all of the distortions to be able to move into the New Earth timeline. And that makes sense because the New Earth timeline is within you. It's very hard to do, I know, but you have to be really discerning and wanting to take responsibility for the mirror that's being shown to you, and then learn from it, and then grow from it, and then remove that person from your platforms. Every which way. You can do that. Block, 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 block. No, ain't got time for your bullshit. Then you can do that bit. But make sure that you end up with love and light. You can love and light by taking people off your platforms. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so that is going on, and it's getting quite intense because we are at the last stages of like learning all our lessons, things going on and everything like that. But we cannot fall into the same energy as they are, because then of course we stay where we are. So remember, you are the way showers, you are the leaders. You know, it's a bit like having a child and being an adult. Are you going to behave like the child? No, you're not, because like somebody's got to lead, right? And somebody's got to lead by example, a good example. So we don't come down to the child's level. We kind of deliver the lesson, explain it to them, all right? And we basically find a way, okay, we're good now, and we move on, right? But we don't come down to that energetic level. We stay here and we hold our light, right? Because that's our job, right? So there is a big purge coming. Meaning purge and then expansion. And I think that we'll be moving into this kind of like over as we move up. It's kind of like a slow burner coming up April, May. I've always said June is a very powerful time of the year, where I do find it's halfway through the year, things start to shift. Now I'm taking my group to Egypt on the 9th to the 19th of May. And I know that our group is slap bang in the middle of this massive shift. So I'm like super happy for that. And I'm always in awe as to where my tools always land when there's certain things going on. So I kind of feel that there's a very, very big shift coming as we move out of April into May, which is just around the corner. So, I mean, I know we keep talking about the shifts in timelines, but we're moving closer and closer and closer to it. Don't get it twisted. We are moving. It's happening. But we weren't going to wake up like one day in like, hell, the depths of hell, and wake up and we'd be in a Disney movie the next day. We knew that wasn't going to be how it is, but you must admit deep down inside of you that there is a foundation of light within you, and you're starting to get really clear on your mission. You're starting to get really clear on your purpose. You're starting to have like the dust kind of being blown out the way, the sleep out the eyes, and even me, I'm starting to look at areas and go, oh, actually, I'm supposed to be doing that. Okay, that's feeling a bit easier over there. Well, that's feeling a bit easier because I'm getting more crystal clear clarity on who I am, why I've come here, and how I was going to go about it. And what I thought I was going to be doing, actually, in truth, is not. Even the tablets of light tour, even the work that I do, I know that there is an up-leveling of that right now. And I know that there's more expansion. And the ideas that I'm being shown on how to... Here's my voice. What's going on with my voice? Clearly it's got something to do with the throat chakra, because I've had so many issues up here, like many of us. And the throat chakra is how we welcome change in from the world, actually. It's not just a creative chakra or speaking your truth. This is how we welcome change in from the world. So anyway, funny that clogged up when I started talking about doing things differently, because I'm going to be speaking to different people about the alchemy in Egypt and all this kind of stuff. I'm going to be speaking about my mission in a different way. And I'm definitely welcoming change in from the world, because I feel like the old timeline is now collapsing. It feels a little bit too constricted. And I know that the new one is just coming in. And what happens is when that new one comes in, it's not a case of needing to know. That comes from the divine masculine. We want answers for everything. Oh, we know this is is happening because of this. We know that it's happening because of that. Now I understand the X, Y, and Z. No, I mean, we get to a point now where we do question it a little bit just out of interest, but then we let go and we let God, because when we move into the divine feminine frequencies and we allow those to come in, then what we're actually saying is like, yes to the mysteries, yes to the possibilities that there could be several millions different outcomes to that thing there, and I'm just going to float in the mysteries, because that's exactly what it is. Mysteries is marvel in the mysteries and allow the divine feminine just to like move and flow. We don't need to be constantly in our divine masculine going, well, I'm feeling this because of this, and I'm going to dissect this because of that. And I was actually thinking about this the other day, that essentially this is what my energy videos are all about. Very, very divine masculine, figuring it all out. Maybe they're going to change. I don't know. I just like to bring information forward for us to ponder. And I think that my videos and my delivery is going to be different, because like the need to know is going to be less and less. And the welcoming of just being able to float in the possibilities of what outcomes could happen, because they're all going to be amazing. That comes from trust. That comes from surrendering. And that comes from allowance and acceptance of your higher self leading, which is the divine feminine. And that's what all of these purges are all about. Each layer we take off, we allow more of that to come in, like, you know, melting into the mysteries, right? So that's what's happening right now. So this is why this is so effing big. And I mean, this was supposed to be a short video, but it never is it? So now, okay, your platform will be revealed soon. I've written here. What I mean by that is, especially for you conscious creators out there, even myself, it has been a hard slog, really, really hard, bringing forth my offerings and my blueprint template, tablet of light, my encodements into the world. Now, I know, and you know who you are, and you're on all on here on YouTube anyway, all of my star family that we connect with, you know, we have our different versions, but the same thing about what it is to step out in the world and be seen, and to be seen by others that get you, to be seen by others that are picking up what you're putting down. Like, I'll use the expo as a perfect example. Millions of people there, but through the cracks, I met a certain few. And they walked in and they just looked at me. Hadn't even finished my sentence about the tablets of light and why I'm doing it. They were like, we know. Big majority of people were just like, no, I don't get you. And what's that funny accent you got? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, but when you get with your star fam and you start to build on that family and that connection, then we get each other. And that's specific to each group, okay? So we are all part of one specific starseed family. And then what will happen is all of these big starseed families that vibrate exactly the same, there'll be another big starseed family that might vibrate in a slightly different energy, but they've got their massive starseed family there. And we start to make this patchwork quilt, which is quite amazing and lovely. So we get spiritual people that we connect with and we're like, you're kind of cool like that, whatever. And then you get your starseed family where you're like, oh my God, I know you and I understand what you're talking. Even if we sat in silence with each other, we know the conversation, right? So that's kind of like what's going to be happening. And I'm feeling that more and more coming out of the cracks, because I've been walking in a minority for so long. We've spoken about this at length, being on YouTube and everything like that, and even on Insta, but mostly here. And all of my peeps here, all my family here, you know, we understand, right? That we've been walking, looking for each other. And I've always said, once you find your starseed family, majority of your encodements unlock. Why? Because you feel safe. Why? Because there's an emotional resonance. Why? Because there's a vibrational resonance and we come from the same place. We get it. Now, for those, as I said, did I do a video? I can't remember where I put my videos, but there's a Starseed Stampede to the Tablets of Light Tour 2024. So I have had some beautiful divine beings like lastminute.com come onto the tour. The team is still open. I'm going on the 9th of May to the 19th of May to do very specific things. And, you know, if you are resonating with this, you're either resonating it for 2024 or 2025, because I already have a big bunch of people booked in for 2025. It's just organically opened the bookings on its own. So tap into that. Are you due to walk with me now or then? So let's have a conversation about that if any of this resonates, because the bookings are still open now, but they will be closing very, very soon for 2024, for May. So with that, I'm going to let that settle, petal. And thank you always for taking the time to receive my sparkles. And I've got some nice posts coming up soon. I did some beautiful recordings of some Magdalene frequencies, so look out for those. They're going to be coming on very, very soon. And yeah, have a great day. Enjoy. Be. Just be and rest. If you're feeling it, just rest. Peace.